Tell me when.
Sound is rolling, guys. Are we good? Can we roll? Yeah, roll.
Yeah? Okay, what kind of films did you grow up on? What were the first films that you remember seeing?
Too early a memory though. I remember seeing them on earlier days of television. So the Sunday afternoon movies, which were the regional movies, and then Sunday evening films, which were like the Bombay Hindi films. So those were the ones, and there were quite a few because they used to happen every Sunday. We didn't have a TV, but there was one, like a neighborhood community television where all of us used to gather and see the black and white stuff. It wouldn't be wrong to say that I grew up listening to films, because Sunday afternoon used to be All India Radio, an entire dialogue track of a movie. So one used to hear it. And
what was the first film you remember? Like before you understood what cinema was? Or
first film I remember was, I think it's very difficult, but if I go down, it's more like, I think Jalbin Michli Nitya Bin Bijli, which is a V. Shantaram film.
That's the first film I remember.
Yeah, and I saw it in Regal in Delhi, in Connaught Place. That's the one I remember in the theatres. Television, I don't know which one was the first.
The age when you started thinking about cinema, that okay, what is cinema? What ye kya ho raha hai? Or started educating yourself.
Age of 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 4, 5, 6, around there.
And what about when, like in your teens, when did you start thinking about it intellectually? What kind of cinema happens?
I've never thought of it intellectually.
No,
whenever I've done an intellectual exercise with cinema, I've felt that I have screwed it up big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever I've gone with the heart and the instinct, it has reached the hearts and the instincts. And I don't see you see movies with your brains.
No, sure.
It reaches your brain the last, and it's good if you're not fed with information, and you can see them for your own and whatever it is for. Yeah. Each movie means something to everyone, to an individual. So this whole collective thinking about a film, I've never got that. It beats me all the time.
There's so much analysis around you. How do you deal with that? I mean, your films, is that? I'm not talking about criticism. I'm talking about analysis. Is this people constantly trying to say this is what your film is? I mean, they're constantly trying to define films.
And sometimes it's entertaining. Most of the time, it is half-baked knowledge, and most of the time, more than analysis, is what's important is. If you have touched somebody somewhere, I think that's more important to me, because with every movie I make, I lose a lifetime. Let's put it like that. Where I age with every film. So there will be a time when I start getting younger, also. Ulta bhi ho sakta hai.
Sure. Benjamin Button-esque. Okay, your first film, all 3 films. Can you name one thing that you're proud of in that film, and one thing that you've learned? And it could be a personal learning. It doesn't have to be learning about cinema. While making this film, you can learn something about. I mean,
I don't know what I'm proud of, but I've learned most certainly with all the movies I made. And like when I made Ux, I realized that I have to focus more on storytelling and screenplay. The art of telling stories with pictures is a different art altogether. So I spent next 5 years trying to learn that, and then brought that in Rang De Basanti. And so when it succeeded, I wanted to take it to a different level in Delhi 6, but it didn't work. So I'll try another route next time. But every time you have to learn something new. So
directing actors, is that a how's that journey been? Is that something that you?
It's very painful uh, to direct someone, I think, especially actors, and it's um, extremely painful.
And it's also dependent too much on
Well,
every
I
person.
enjoy it, but yeah, that's different.
Do you think a lot about how you deal with them the next time? Is that something, or do you just leave because it's a new person every time? I mean, more or less a new person every time. Do you just go there, and because that is really dealing with someone else's psychology and
No,
driving them. And
I normally let my actors be. I don't interfere in as to how they do things. At best, I tell them is this is the playing field, and you are the player, and I am the referee, and I'll blow the whistle if you if you do a
If you-
foul
yeah.
or you go offside. But how you score a goal is entirely your skill, art, and technique.
And are most actors comfortable with that, or do they want more? Are there actors who want more support?
I don't work with
hand-holding?
people who want more, who want to be spoon fed. Then I get put off and I let it happen. I say it was a mistake, and next time I'm not going to work with this person. But I'll work with people who know their job, who don't need to be told, who don't need to be spoon fed, who know why they're doing why they're there for. So if an actor is there for the wrong reason, then it's a bad choice of casting him. I'd rather not cast. So before I cast any actor, I spend a lot of time with them. I talk to them a lot, and about life, about coffee and how much sugar in your coffee, and what food you like, and maybe get drunk a couple of times with my cast and with my technicians. So we have seen each other without inhibition. And so once we can trust each other, that's the time to start working.
Are there any films that any tiny things that you remember? This is just a light-hearted question. That you influences from cinema that are not about cinema. So any film that you remember watching and wanting to eat something or go somewhere or dress a certain way, or any of that?
All the time.
Yeah.
I remember after Sholay, we went hunting for a pair of jeans, couldn't find them. Because in India, you couldn't buy jeans that time. And if you brought one, customs used to catch you. So that's the India we were living in. And yeah, so the thirst for a pair of Levi's was, I think Sholay did that for us. And that's what I say, that cinema is so personal, because it's nothing, it's a circle. Everything you've done in your life gets shown on screen if your movies are sincere. So you just pull things out of your own experiences. And when you are empty, you should stop making movies. After that, you're done. You should look for something else, or look to fill yourself again and then come back.
I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions about your memories of movies. You don't have to tell me the definitive film that comes to your mind, but anything that comes to your mind.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Movie that you love for its use of sound, not music, sound.
Mughal-e-Azam.
And music?
Pyasa.
A movie that you love for its images. When I say images, I don't mean mood. I just pure images. You know where?
Do Aankhein Bara Haath.
And mood. The movie that you remember for its mood.
Pyasa, Kagaz Ke Phool.
A movie that you remember for characterization.
Most certainly Guide.
For actor moments in where you remember.
Oh yeah, Shri 420. Yeah, no question about that. That's a great moment, my all-time great moment in life.
What is it?
So there's this guy who leaves this small town or a village or a kasbah kind of a thing. So it's about urban India, and he's migrating from a village, and he comes to Bombay, and he meets a beggar, and he says, "Can I get a job here?" Which all of us when we come to big towns. So the beggar says, "Are you young?" He said, "Yeah, look at me, I can work for 48 hours at a go, I won't sleep." "Are you educated?" He pulls out a degree, "I'm BA pass, first division, all that, and I'm good." "Are you honest?" So he pulls out a medal. He says, "हाँ ये देखो, ये मेरे को medal मिला है honesty का, integrity का." So he says, "Then you'll not get a job because this is Bombay, and यहाँ पे you have to kill the other guy, and you have to step over somebody else." So Raj Kapoor in Sri 420, he lands up in a pawn shop, and the pawn shop owner says, "What do you want to sell?" And he says, "मैं ईमान बेच रहा हूँ, so I want to sell my integrity." I thought that was a very seminal point in Indian cinema, because we had just gained independence in 47. There was a purpose about the nation, so we were making purposeful films. Naya Daur or whatever you may call them, and at that time, ये देश है वीर जवानों का, अलबेलों का मस्तान, या मेरा जूता है जापानी, पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है, because we were importing everything from a Hercules bike to, if you wanted a suit to be stitched, the cloth came from some mill in England. We were exporting coal, we were importing iron and steel. So all the raw material was going out, finished product was coming in, nothing was Indian. At the same time, this concept of independence, mixed economy, Jawaharlal Nehru's dream of socio, like a social society. All that was there. So there was a lot of purpose in the society about building this nation, and at the same time India was fragmented and it was coming together. For the first time in the history of this land, we saw a map. There was never a map of India before this. And I would go right back to 350 BC during the Mauryan Empire. That was when India was big. Even then, South India was never part of India. This was the first time the south of. So there was a lot happening. I think so that showed in a cinema. But when reality dawned and the Bengal famine hit us and the China war we lost, and war with Pakistan and Kashmir problem and poverty and no food and no jobs and no house and nothing. That's the time the Sri 420 and Pyasa.
So it was a turning point. Yeah, it marked a turning point.
That's when Pyasa happened. When it said कि जिन्हें नाज़ है हिंद पर वो कहाँ है. So cinemas kind of reflected.
Have you ever been a fanboy of any kind of director or actor where you defend them no matter what and feel bad if they didn't?
Yeah, I could kill for Scorsese.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. I could kill for Spielberg or Brian De Palma or Kurosawa or Fellini or Bimal Roy. Most certainly, he would top my list, and Goldie Anand or Gurudutt or V. Shantaram, again top of my list. Chetan Anand, no questions about that. And so these are the guys who are superhuman, as far as I am concerned. S.D. Burman, A.R. Rahman, they are beyond. They are the untouchables, and they are very inspiring for me. And S.D. Burman got his break when he was 41. And the kind of work he's left, the quality of work he's left for us, left behind, was in a very short span, but he did that. Something like Van Gogh, who did all his paintings in 1 year, most of his, 368 paintings in 365 days or whatever. And that's S.D. Burman for you. That's how prolific he was. I love Mani Ratnam for, I don't know, the way he is and what he makes, and he is always so pained about what's going on around him that his work reflects that. So whether it's the problem in Sri Lanka or Bombay or anything at any level, He's always trying to things which trouble him. He tells stories about those. So these are people who stood the test of time and will always, and they're beautiful people.
What makes you go on? What makes you go on making films?
I don't know anything else to do. You give me a better job, I'll do that.
Really?
Immediately.
Will you?
Yeah.
Really?
So this is the best thing I know right now, and it's feeding me well, and that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you feel like you could do something else at some point? Give this up?
100%. Yeah. Why not? Anything which is more. For once I don't believe that this is it. The world will end here. That will be too. Because the universe is bigger than that. So tomorrow, if you make me an astronaut, I'd love to leave filmmaking and discover what's going on in the universe. Or say deep sea diving. I'm seriously considering one of these days, yeah. Maybe after 10 years, yeah.
Deep sea diving, perhaps. Astronaut would be
Will be very difficult.
Yeah, unless you intend to take very good care of your health.
So we'll do that. Health is just a subjective thing.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, we can wrap at this. Thank you. My coffee got cold.